Yeah, I did change, and I'm really glad I changed.
This One's Wife, the porn actress. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Those of you listening will have, excuse the pun, come across porn at some juncture. Many of you will have watched it. Many of you will have watched it regularly. Whether it's the type whereby a engineer turns up, "Hello, I've come to mend your heater. Gosh, it's hot in here. I'll take off all my clothes." And then all of a sudden, a 70s guitar starts playing. Where that came from, who knows? Or if it's not a well-hung, mustachioed heating engineer who's come to service the lady of the house, it might be the more reality-based one, such as Fake Taxi. As you'll understand, people have told me about these programs. The living embodiment of saintliness that your glorious narrator is, have never, of course, witnessed any of this firsthand. But putting that to one side, porn is prevalent, and I've explained elsewhere how porn is something that is utilised extensively by narcissists, particularly of the somatic persuasion. What about the other word in our title, actress or acting? Well, the acting profession is something that attracts lots of narcissists for two main reasons. One, it caters to the prime aims and thus is a hotspot or honeypot in that respect. It allows people to assert control over a lot of people by becoming famous, or the expectation of that. There's a lot of fuel to be obtained from people's reaction to somebody's acting. There's so many people that one's exposed to and different roles that allows the acquisition of character traits and, of course, the residual benefits of facade management, money, access to networks, and so forth. Thus, acting, as part of the entertainment industry, is a particularly attractive place for narcissists. It also attracts a lot of narcissists because narcissists are inherently actors. What you get with your interaction with the narcissist isn't genuine, because what the narcissist demonstrates to you is generated by the narcissism for the purpose of the pursuit of the prime aims. The narcissist appears happy, but the narcissist isn't actually happy. The narcissist exhibits sadness. It's not genuine. It's a pity play. The narcissist flatters you with a smile on their face, but it's just done to bring you under control and draw fuel from you. Accordingly, so much of what the narcissist does is acting. And of course, somebody who acts in that way on a natural basis is going to be more likely to go towards acting because, one, it caters to the prime aims, and two, it's something that occurs to them naturally. Thus, you end up with a lot of narcissists in the field of acting. It follows, however, that not all of them are necessarily good at it. And, like certain narcissists, where over time you see the incongruous reactions or the delayed responses, watch my video, The Imitation Game, you realise, this person isn't that good an actor, actually. I've seen through them. When it comes to this one's wife, there are the rumours that she's been involved in some skin flick at an earlier juncture, which, of course, for an aspiring actress and a somatic narcissist, although it doesn't guarantee that it has happened, makes it a greater likelihood. After all, driven by the narcissism to get to the prime aims, the can-do attitude prevails. With limited opportunities and with a sense of entitlement, the delusion of believing that she's truly beautiful and every man wants to knock her hip out, means that an individual like her could well be attracted to such an arena. After all, I have spoken about Bonnie Blue, see separate videos about the narcissist will turn your stomach or the narcissist that will disgust you, where there a clear somatic narcissist has slept with lots of men one after the other in the pursuit of the prime aims and doesn't care who knows it. This one's wife hasn't sung any previous involvement in skin flicks to the rooftops. Her facade management counters against that, but the rumours have persisted. But one aspect of the way that this one's wife behaves merits further examination because she's not that good an actress. It's fair to say that she's mediocre, and she didn't appear that much in Suits. Although, of course, her narcissism insists that she tells us all about the fact that she was in Suits because it has become a more popular programme, and therefore she benefits by that association. If you've had the misfortune of seeing her in that show, you will have not found her particularly credible as an actress. And you will have also seen, as a consequence of the fact that she's regularly filmed, the way that she acts in relation to the way that she deals with people. For instance, in the very intro that I utilise, you've seen that ridiculous grin that she gives when she was doing the video for Vanity Fair. You've seen the strange wave that she gives when she was saying hello at Archetypes. So you'll have seen many instances where her narcissism has caused her to act, but it's not been particularly effective because, armed with my knowledge and repeated exposure to the way that this one's wife behaves, you're able to see through it. Furthermore, because the way that she acts in her private life, if we describe it as such, isn't that credible, it also highlights the fact that she wasn't that good an actress professionally. Driven by her narcissism, she acts and acts and acts. She acts with Harry. She acts with members of her family. She acts with members of the public. She acts when she's being interviewed. She acts when she's on a stage. She acts when she's behind a camera, or rather in front of a camera, in relation to an actual acting gig that she had when she was in that profession. But the fact is that whether she's acting privately or acting professionally, she's not that good at it. Why? Two factors. One, the absence of emotional empathy means that certain feelings she just doesn't feel, so she has to try and emulate them. She doesn't realise she's emulating them, she thinks that's how you show it. But as I've explained in my brilliant video, The Imitation Game, the look in the eyes, the facial expression, the body language, the tone, the words that are used often aren't right. And with keen attention, and sometimes not necessarily needing even that stands out to you. Thus, with this one's wife, as a consequence of the fact that she has no emotional empathy, her narcissism has to make an approximation of how she should feel in certain instances in order to fabricate it. Some narcissists are brilliant at doing that because their imitation game is really high up. This one's wife isn't. So accordingly, the first reason why she's not particularly effective at this is because of the absence of emotional empathy. The second is that her style of narcissism is such that it's a little bit ham-fisted when it comes to the emulation of these emotions. So for some narcissists, the absence of emotional empathy isn't actually a hindrance for them. Their narcissism is so attuned to acting in a particular way, it cons people regularly. They can't see through it. But a combination of the absence of emotional empathy and the fact that her narcissism's imitation game isn't that good results in this one's wife showing a form of acting which is rather wooden, incongruous, and see-through. And in particular, there are instances where this is shown in what she has done professionally. And that what you see professionally, you'll have seen her behave in a similar way in private instances. I'm going to show you a series of stills from a film that this one's wife was in called Random Encounters. And as you watch, you basically could be looking at the faces being made by a porn actress. Keep that in mind as you're watching it. And you'll also notice that some of the expressions she pulls, you'll have seen her pulling when she's been on public engagements, when she's being interviewed, showing that when she's acting professionally, she can't do it very well. When she's acting privately, she can't do it very well. And she often reverts to looking like a porn actress in both of those scenarios. Take a look at this.